My name is Nicole Deagle. I'm a systemic social worker with the Conseil Scolaire Catholique Providence, which is a French first language school board that services the regions of Windsor all the way to Owen Sound. I myself did my schooling in English when it came to my bachelor and my master's degree in social work. But I am a bilingual individual, and I followed the French first language system going through elementary to high school. Although I did do my schooling in English, my post-secondary studies in English, I've always been passionate in being able to work in French with the French community. So during my schooling in the School of Social Work at King's University College in London, Ontario, it was important to me that I have the access to a placement that I could do in French. At that time, that wasn't something that was offered, and I very much believed it was important to advocate so that I had that opportunity. The school was open to that idea, but it was important that I seek that out because they didn't have the context with the community to be able to find someone that would supervise me. Luckily, I was able to find someone in the community, and I had a very successful and wonderful placement. And during that placement, it made me realize the importance of providing students that are following social work studies and any studies really, giving them the opportunity to have a placement in a language of their choice, in a language of their preference, but also in a language that may be the language they will be using in their career. And so upon graduation, it was of utmost importance that I let the university know that I was willing to accept students who wanted to do placements in French. Now, this wasn't an easy task to have. I didn't have multiple students knocking at my door, but when I did have students, which I have, I did see the importance in allowing them to have opportunities to practice their French and to learn social work in French. And it's very different, and I think sometimes we may dismiss that in thinking that if you know a language, you should know a language in anything you do. But it's actually not true. The language is relevant to the area or the field of study. And so students and myself, during this learning process, were able to get a lot of tools and resources to understand how to service a community, our Francophone communities that are very distinct and have specific needs that we need to be made aware of and to be trained in being able to respond to those needs. So with the experiences I've had during my studies and also as a professional in the community, I was able to kind of see the areas that we do need to work on, and I believe that if we have a system in place, a greater structure in place, that will help ensure that we don't have students that are lost between the cracks. We don't have students that want to work in French and that have that skill set but that are forgotten. In creating a system in place where students have access to placements and resources and community partners that can help foster their language, that can help them grow as a professional, as a bilingual professional, as a Francophone professional, I think that system is going to lead to a lot of great change in our communities. And that change is going to be ensuring that people are getting adequate services in their language of choice. And that change is gonna not only help, obviously, our clientele, but it's also gonna help as a general community, that we're gonna feel more welcoming to all people, but mostly understanding that we have language barriers that are existing and that we're recognizing that and we're addressing that.